Welcome everybody, Chris Mindfulness here with the purpose of dissolving the ego for all of mankind. And I want to give you guys a two-step formula which can lead to self-realization. That which is your true essence, that which has always been, just 2 steps. If you apply these 2 steps every day, this can be the greatest discovery that you have ever witnessed. The 2-step formula is self-awareness plus self-examination leads to self-realization. Self-awareness plus self-examination leads to self-realization. I want to show you how you can apply both of these in your daily life. I started this process about 6 months ago, and this has been the most transforming 6 months of my life. And I say that humbly. What this process will do is it removes everything that is not you. That which is not you is the ego, the false identity of the real self. When you detach from the ego, when you completely wipe it out, you become one with your soul. It's like removing a mask or peeling off layers of an onion until you get to the core. This is what the process is going to feel like. You'll learn to become happy, more joyful, because you won't need anything from the world. You won't want anything. And therefore, by default, you'll just get a complete feeling of oneness with all that exists. So let's get in the first step, which is self-awareness. Self-awareness is about learning to become aware of your actions. It's about learning to become aware of your emotions, your feelings. It's as if you're watching yourself in everyday life. Eckhart Tolle, great author and spiritual teacher, he calls this learning to be the silent watcher of your mind. This is very necessary because sometimes you can't see the picture when you're in the frame. So we have to step outside and view our own behavior. Self-awareness, in other words, it's being present. So you can learn to be the witness of all your thoughts, emotions, your feelings, your beliefs, perceptions, and you're just going to become really aware of yourself. And as you go through your day, just pay attention to yourself. What are you feeling? Are you feeling negative? Are you feeling positive? Do you get offended when people criticize you? Do you get envious or jealous when you see someone who's more successful than you are? Do you find yourself complaining to other people? Do you blame other people? Do you put labels on everything? Do you hear a negative voice in your head? It doesn't matter if it's conscious or unconscious. If you have any of these types of thoughts or emotions, then your life is run by the ego, the false identity of the real self. The ego is what's been controlling most people's lives. This is because it's blocking you from realizing who you truly are, which is the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness with all that exists. When I first started the self-awareness process, I couldn't even believe how much the ego has been running my life. All of us, we come into the world like a blank computer and we become programmed by the ego. The ego tells us what's right, what's wrong, what we need, what will make us happy. We become attached to worldly phenomenon, which is why the Buddha, he said that the basis of human suffering is attachments. So when you learn to self-actualize, self-realization, the first step is realizing that you have an ego. You'll begin to realize how you've been run and duped by thoughts and feelings your whole life, which is why self-awareness of everything you do is the first step. From this day on, learn to become the witness of all your thoughts, feelings, emotions, belief systems, perceptions, because before you can transcend something, you need to become aware of what you are transcending. After step number 1, we're going to move on to step number 2, which is self-examination. After being the witness of all your thoughts and emotions, which is aware you have an ego, now you're ready for step 2, self-examination. It means you're going to look at all your actions and behaviors. You're going to take a good look at yourself, and you're going to get to the root cause of everything that you do, of your thinking and your emotions, like where they came from. It's like if you want to get rid of a plant, you're going to have to pull it by the roots so it stops growing. We're getting to the roots of all your thoughts and emotions so you can set yourself free from them and become a free spirit. I'll give you an example. Let's say you want a brand new Mercedes. Okay, what do you want the Mercedes for? And then your brain is going to come up with an answer. So I can gain status and recognition from others. Why do you want status and recognition from others? Because then I'll feel happy and satisfied. Why do you need a Mercedes to make you feel happy and satisfied? Is who you are not enough to make you feel happy and satisfied? When you begin to examine this desire or any other type of desire, you'll come up with emotions that are going to end up to you wanting to be happy, fulfilled, satisfied. You know why? Because that's what you're lacking, so you're looking for it externally. Deep down, you're feeling unhappy and unsatisfied, so you're looking for external things to fill in that void. We're looking externally for material possessions, and this is all a behavior which has been created by the ego. When you begin to examine yourself, you'll find out that the core root of all your behaviors are your fears, fear of not being enough, fear of being a nobody, fear of not getting approval from others. Your soul, who you truly are and who you truly have always been, doesn't need any attachments in order to feel complete. These attachments have all been created by the ego, which feels incomplete and looks to be complete externally. If you learn to examine yourself, look at more of your desires and what you're attached to, and let go of everything you thought you needed, you won't die. You will come to life. When the ego dies, the soul awakens. In the Bible, it says the kingdom of heaven is within. There's a story in the Bible where Jesus is walking with his 12 disciples, and he said, "I didn't come to save the world, but to give you a sword." Well, what did he mean by that? A sword for what? I believe what he meant was a sword to cut away from all our attachments, to cut off the ego, to detach, to cut away from the world. And it's similar to what the Buddha has said as well, which is to avoid attachments to worldly phenomenon. If we are given a sword to cut away our attachments, we no longer need or want anything in order to make us happy. If you don't want anything, if you don't need anything, how is it possible to get upset? It isn't, because you have become complete. The two-step formula, self-awareness plus self-examination, leads to self-realization. Keep these two in mind every single day, and you are on the journey to reach self-realization. When you can remove or detach from everything that you thought you needed, you will not die. You will come to life. The death of your ego will be the beginning of your real life. Take care, everybody, and God bless your soul.